What's going on, world? Your man, Mr. Mac.
And I'm Crystal Evans.
This is the M&M Show, aka the show coming to you live and direct with some homegrown talent from my home borough. We get the money, and this guy might as well be the poster child of all of the above.
He's got a little something to do with our station too.
Just a little bit, just tad, depending on who you ask. You know,
big fan.
If you ask around, he might have a little something to do with everything. This is the apex predator in the business world, a dude that everybody looks up to if you know where to look. Spoiler alert, look up. That's probably where it is. New celebration, new album, new business, new ventures, new money, but it's the same OG. Could you please introduce yourself so people know I'm not lying?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Daymond John, CEO, founder of FUBU, and co-star in ABC Shark Tank, and a Pisces.
And a Pisces. And a Pisces.
I'm from Hollis.
Hollis, Queens.
Okay.
Hollis, Queens.
He's grinning about that.
Yeah, no idea. I'm from South Jamaica. Technically, we have beef with Hollis, but once you get outside of Queens, it's just us against Brooklyn.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
We're just trying to
people that aren't from large cities or even New York itself, it's so funny because we don't we claim an entire city and that's enough. Mm-hmm. But like within New York, you guys have like 4 street blocks that count. Like, or maybe not 4. I'm exaggerating.
Because Chicago has like South Side, North Side, et cetera, et cetera.
Definitely California split up.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying like large cities. This is the truth. Yeah. I'm from New Orleans. Like we pretty much just say New Orleans. Some people feel like their word matters. But once you come to New York, you're like, yeah, I'm from New Orleans. Or I'm from Indiana. What part doesn't really matter. The whole state. You know what I mean?
You're right.
I think that would happen no matter where we went though. If we from New York go to New Orleans, nobody's going to care that you're from Brooklyn specifically.
Yeah, we say New York.
Yeah,
right.
They'll say you're from
That's
there.
true. That's
if you
true.
told them I was from Hollis, Queens, they'd be like, "Oh, where David's from?" Oh, that's
you getting a street named after you soon?
No,
They've been doing that a lot.
You gotta be dead.
Really?
So,
how about we pass on that?
Yeah, we pass
just
on
like let's not do that.
I didn't think that was a prerequisite, but I guess you might be right.
Oh, Run DMC got theirs. They're still alive.
No, called the Jam Master Jay, didn't they?
That's Run DMC, Jam Master Jay way. So like they got theirs, but I'm sure
get
Jay
some money printed out with your name.
You
can get some money printed out with your name. People can still be alive. Like the Queen of England has money with their name, with their face on it.
Well, Dame should be printing his own.
Politician.
Yeah.
Dame should be printing his own money at this
wish.
point. I think like the Daymond John. What would that be, like a $30 bill?
Nah, that would be $2.
I like it.
$3 because me and Keith used to go buy a bottle of Golden Duck for $3.
Golden Duck
Champagne.
I was like, wait, what is that?
Champagne you ever had in your life?
Golden Duck.
Yeah, Golden Duck.
On purpose.
Yeah, man.
It was $3.
We were stepping up from a $40. You know what I mean? That was. So.
Well,
the 40 was $1.
We're moving on up there. Let's continue the ascension, and now we're here.
We gotta look that back up. See, Keith, check out a Golden Duck that's still around.
Are you gonna buy a Golden Duck?
I'll buy it,
rebrand it.
You just buy a bottle. No investment. They can't make it to Shark Tank.
Nah, I just buy a bottle of it.
You know too much
good old time
for memories.
Yeah.
So what do you drink now?
Successes. I drink Tito's now.
I thought he would say tea. I was like,
I thought he was going to say tea too. I pictured him like in some robe, made of FUBU material.
No, I have that, but I'm sipping Tito's in my FUBU robe.
I picture like
I like Tito's.
severe.
I just had a Tito's just now.
That's
afternoon delight.
You should be bragging about in the middle of the afternoon.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is.
It's actually after 5.
And you know the boss is like
right
here.
Yeah. It's happy hour though. It's and we're happy.
As Pitbull would say, it's Mexico somewhere.
Hey,
disrespectful.
Tequila.
That's another reason not to build a wall. Anyway, moving on, because you have other things to talk about than what you drink. You actually have some things that you can talk about that can help people not drink. In other words, they can be way more successful not drinking and following along with this Daymond John program, which you put in the form of an album called Visualize.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, we gotta play. So yeah, Visualize. I have an album out, and it's a collective group of tracks for people who want to get motivated or deal with the haters in their life, or try to reach and obtain that goal. And I came out with this concept because I was in the car and I was driving, and I remember hearing Martin Luther King's speech. Of course, it's obviously one of the greatest speeches in history. and a DJ, it was on MLK Day, and a DJ was just cutting and scratching and putting a beat to it, and I was like, I want to go to the gym to this. You know, I want to work out. I want to punch somebody in the face to this. You know what I'm saying? I want to get excited about this. And I said to myself, man, I should do that, because all my speeches, when you hear a speech of mine, if you heard it one time, it's great. You don't need to hear it again. You heard it already, right? So how can I make this so people can work out on the treadmill, or be on the subway, or be in a car, or zoning out on the way into a meeting to pitch, you know, to get a job or get $1 million in funding? How can I get people excited about it? You know, I hooked up with a producer named Nobu, really amazing producer.
What is that again?
Nobu.
Okay.
Nobu.
Like the club?
Yeah.
Like the restaurant?
Like the restaurant, Nobu. And
Nobu.
he made these amazing tracks to my speeches, and then we started going out and playing and getting the feel of it, and talking to a lot of friends that I really respect, who really would be like, listen, man, stop.
Right.
What are you doing?
Rebecca's famous for saying that if it's true. There's-
Oh, absolutely. I got friends who not
Yeah.
only will they tell you the truth, but they more want to make sure that you're so okay and they're okay, because they got to co-sign on it,
Right.
right? And they're not friends to BS. You know, it's like, you know, my boy.
I can't let you put that out if it doesn't represent you
Yeah,
and us.
listen,
and all
I
that.
know him do next to me for 40 years, all right? So
That's
you know,
Keith
about
Urban.
40 years. So he's probably not gonna lie to me. And the first couple ones
Boy, he's really good at it.
yeah, well, the first couple ones that we started put together, people were like, you know what, you need to shape this, do this and that. But so now I'm really excited about it, because now we have this way to share with people what they're going to do. And the Visualize album, it really takes you through your day. It takes you through at night when you're going to dream, in the morning when you're going to wake up and have to rise and grind, and then you're going to have to dress up and show up like a boss. Then you're going to run across haters. Right, then you're gonna come across a couple of hurdles, but you know, then another track about how do you love yourself, or the 5,000 words that you use today. Are they the 5,000 words that are going to empower you, or are they the 5,000 words that are going to hurt you?
I saw that on the clip that we watched from the interview you did with Daymond John. Shout out to Daymond.
At your listening event, yeah.
You had a it was very. I had never heard that before. There's 7,000 to 7,000 words you use every day. These are the words that will shape your life.
Yeah, there's about 100,000 words in the English language, and if you use about 7,000 of them a day, and if your dialogue and your language is always like hate, can't do it, won't get done, they won't let us do it, da 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 da. If you do that, that becomes
give
the way you
up,
think.
F this, F that, all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
and that's the way you think. You know what I mean? And
It's a version of The Secret, if you will, like what you say, what you think,
speaking
what you
into
feel.
existence. You know, if you keep, you know, it's very simple, but the mind is so powerful, right? And you know, if you walk up to somebody every day and they go, "Man, I'm not doing well, and I ain't never gonna make it," what do you think's gonna happen? If every day
They're
you see
telling the
them,
truth.
yeah, if every day you see them and they say God is good, it's a blessing, I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna get it no matter what. They're more than likely gonna get it.
There's my neighbor's nanny. I see her very often when I'm walking my dog, and every once in a while she'll ask me how I am. And you know how you're not social, whatever standards say that you're supposed to just say I'm cool, right? But a lot of times she just seems like she really wants to know like how I am, right? So sometimes I'll give her, you know, what's really going on or something. She always corrects me when I say, I'm like, yeah, money's tight. She goes, no, you have $1 million coming to you. And she'll make me repeat things. I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling too well today. She's like, no, you are healthy, you are blessed, you are, and it's empowering. And sometimes she'll make me say it verbally, and it's like I growl, and I'm like, all right, fine, I say it, and it works. I feel so much better.
We have to figure out who is biting who, because Daymond put that whole thing to an album.
Right.
And
Well,
that's how he's gonna
she'll be
sell
your
it.
number one
Yeah, we have to figure out
supporter.
who's copying who.
Listen, I don't mind. I don't even remember. I've been doing this for about 30 years with regards to practicing that, but I got it from somebody. Absolutely.
Yeah. And the more people have it, it's
Yeah.
Right, no,
yeah.
absolutely. Here's something I wanted to ask you. As a businessman, which is what we all know you for,
Sure.
except for Keith. He knows you on a whole bunch of different other levels,
Right.
most of which we can't repeat on here. But as a businessman, I would think, this is a guess, I would think that most of the things you do have to make sense. When businessmen say that, it means it has to come with some kind of profit. There has to be some kind of benefit. Are you balancing this project with a what? Is there a need for this to turn around a profit, or is this
a gift to the world.
is it philanthropy? Like how do you see this?
So, believe it or not, most successful businesses, depends on the business you're at, that you're doing, don't make sense at first. You really do it because you find a need or a pain that is happening in the market and nobody's answering it, or not enough people are answering it. So the creation of FUBU wasn't because I wanted to make money. The creation of FUBU was I wanted to be able to get on the video sets and holler at chicks. I wanted to dress my own self. Me and my boys, we didn't want to wear the kente cloth looking dashiki necessarily to say that we have some level of African American pride, you know. And it grew. And we started in '89, but people didn't really recognize us until '98, really on a large level. So and we did not think we would get to this level of success. Then Shark Tank came because I started writing books, and I just wanted people to know what I went through as an entrepreneur, so that other people who don't necessarily know how to sing, dance, or have this great talent go, wait a minute, he just pulled himself up by the bootstrings, and I can do it too. Because if he can do it, someone who got left back, who raised by a single mother, who didn't go to college, he can do it. I can do it. But what happens then? After I put the book out, I was doing interviews, and I got picked up for Shark Tank because of the book, and that book was again to solve another pain. So even as I think about this, today we're at a great stage where you don't got to go and buy an album, and so you stream if you're already paying for your streaming services. I was doing this because I would either give it away free with my books or let people stream it or whatever the case is. I'm not thinking about it there's a profit in it, and even if we did make a large profit for some way or another, I'm probably then going to donate it to however it's going to empower some youth or something else like that, because if the whole album's concept is to empower people, then I would be paying forward if that happened. I don't need the money. You know?
I saw something about, you were saying that your whole career hasn't been about Daymond John. It's been about basically giving ideas, clothing, like selling a purpose, like to the people. Sort of.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny, like
but the brand is a big part of it, like building your own brand.
100%. I mean, I didn't start off with, oh, Daymond John's going to give to the people. I started off with, I felt there was a need, and then one of my buddies said to me, he said, do you realize all the things you've been successful at have been things that you were embracing and empowering and or sharing with a community? So FUBU, I could have named it Daymond John, or I could have named it some random name, and I'm not saying it would have worked, because I'm sure the name FUBU helped a lot in various different areas. But I named it for us, by us, to give to this hip-hop community that was being ignored. When I wrote my books weren't about see me and celebrate me. It was about
the untold story.
This was about display of power. How you can, the concept of the first book, Display of Power, was that I saw two people driving a car while I was in Vegas, and it was like an old Chevy, right? And I saw one little old lady. She probably brought it and had that car since 1965 when that car was issued out. And I saw another guy, who was a young kid with a hooked up version of that car, and he was fishtail in the streets and wheels was smoking. And I remember the taxi cab driver saying to me, they both have the same car. That woman probably doesn't know the power underneath that hood. And that other guy right there, the cops are going to see him and give him a display of power ticket. I remember saying to myself, wow, we both have the same car. I want to write a book to show how you have exactly what's underneath my hood. Don't let all these people on Instagram tell you that they're doing so great and life is so good. No, life is screwed up. It has its challenges. Life is also great, and I went through it, and you can do it too. So the books were about the people.
And potential,
yeah. And then I get on a Shark Tank. What are we doing on Shark Tank? Investing in people.
Right.
Trying to empower them, and then I do this. So I realized that I do get a joy out of just really being around good people, empowering people, and and that's what God gave me.
But you do understand, how do you combat the perception that it's difficult for people to believe that rich people are just giving
just like
back?
us.
Not even just like us,
okay.
but just like just giving away. Like there's no profit in it. 9 times out of 10, there are plenty of people who will say, well, what's in it for you? Why should I listen to you? What are you getting out of this? And maybe that's the cynical New Yorker in me, but there are plenty of people who are going to want to know, why are you doing this specifically? What's in it for you?
Yeah,
I did not do that. That was 100% not me.
I don't know what just came on. Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but that's the cynical people. You know what I mean? That's just.
And
like,
are you looking to win them over, or are they just?
No. Let them be haters. Let them be the miserable bastards they are. I mean, that's all it is. And let them not see love and not see joy. And every time somebody wants to help them, they see what's in it for you. It's really easy, man, to go down to a church or go down to see what happened at 9/11, or go to banquets and see people who are dying to give money and or to go and deal with the rubble of 9/11 for 8 years and now are dying. What was in it for them? You really think a couple little dollars they made were there?
It
You
was a
know.
passion,
So
yeah.
when you really start to understand that more people want to give, it's almost like somebody saying to you, "Well, then why do you ever help anybody?" You'd have to turn around and say, "Well, I don't know, because why?"
To be honest, it really depends on who it is I'm helping. Like if I'm keeping it a buck, I've never been of the mind that I can do it, you can do it too, or you know, we're all. Every time I think that we're all God's children, somebody pops up and proves me wrong, or makes me at least double question
it.
So
It's a big world, though. You can't help everybody, right?
No.
But
And
the
I don't
areas
wanna
that you
with the
start
same
to
brush.
help,
Right.
the areas that you start to help people.
Well, now I say God helps those who help themselves. So
Of course,
really, like if you're
100%.
the people that want to get a good message out of what you're doing, whether it be Shark Tank or your books or this album.
I'm not here to convince anybody who doesn't believe that there is something there for them in the world. I'm not here to convince them. I'm not. That's up to them. I'm here for the people who are looking for the inspirational information. Listen, I'm on Instagram and I got 1 million people that follow me. And somebody would say, "Man, that's a lot." I'm on TV 24 hours a day, the way CNBC repeats Shark Tank. And I'm giving away empowerment information on there, and I got 1 million people. I know people who just take off their shirt and got 10 million people, right? Or they're doing stupid stuff. They're just re-airing stupid videos because people want to come home. They don't want to think about their problems. They want their Instagram to wash over them. And they just have a good time. I'm not here for those people. I'm here for I can easily have 10 million people if I wanted to. If I
play the
wanted
ratchet
to,
game. Or
yeah, if I wanted to change the way that I'm talking. If I wanted to start showing rolls of money,
right?
I go there and say, right now to the bank, get $100,000, put it on the table, and say, anybody want to answer this question? I give them one of these stacks.
Damn, hold on. When is that contest happening? Because I'm all here for that.
That's the other people who out there who want to get it for free.
Chris, book them on the show. We gotta
Let's get those people.
Get those. I'm sure Daymond will take a piece of that.
Absolutely.
if they want to give it away.
Listen, I will be right back to you. We will flip that. I will hand it over to you. But I gotta.
But instead, you're showing us how to get those hundreds, those bands, so that we can make it ourselves.
Well, this
Ideologically.
question wasn't for me. It was more for the people
No,
who I
of
know
course.
are gonna listen and say, "Well, what's in it for him? Why is he doing this?"
Well, 100%. But what I could do instead is, I can go and get, like a interior decorator to make one of my rooms look like a private jet, and I can just go in there every time I want to do Instagram and say I'm on the jet going somewhere. You want to join me and shit like that, and and
floss and fake
you can get it popping just like this if you only buy my clip for $9.99. I can do that all day. I know how to do that.
Okay, hold on. I'm
a great
almost,
idea.
Get the golden duck ready, man. Let's get this popping over here.
I'm almost positive he just snitched on somebody.
Somebody really has
I'm
that
almost
in
positive I
general.
snitched on somebody too.
Somebody's got that room.
But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give her. You know what? I'm gonna give somebody else something for free right now. You know the ice cream museum? Let's go and make a baller museum, and every room has all the baller shots you need for your grandma.
Exactly. You gotta stack the money to answer the phone.
Cars, it got, you know what I'm saying? Let's just do that. We
got some
charge
twerking
everybody
beauties.
$20 to go in and get all the shots you want, and we would
some
change the
twerking
logos out,
robots in
all
there.
that golden duck right there, everything, twerking robots. One room with puppies, everything.
Yo, maybe-
one room with a pole.
Maybe one with like a what's it called, a food bank where you can look like you're doing charity.
Yeah.
No. You need a room in
People be
STK.
forgetting.
You need the room in STK. You need the STK menu.
I want everybody.
Well, look at what you're eating.
Everybody's grandma will look like Master P albums. Album
You
cover.
can take it to Miami. You got a Prime 112 room.
We need the front of the Bentley.
Yeah.
The front. And do Bentleys work anymore? Or is it Bugatti? What are they? What are
Bentley's
they?
on.
Two different things.
Bentley's work, right?
Oh, yeah.
I took out
That's the
what's
word.
the roof off
Anyway.
the whatever. Yeah.
But
Well, real quick, I was gonna say, back to what we were saying about like, what do you get out of this? My mom always tries to give me like tidbits and like pieces of the news that she wants me to help spread because she thinks that I've got a platform and it's important that I share, right? But I heard this quote. It was an interview with George Clooney, and he was saying, "I couldn't save Darfur until I became this," right? And he didn't save Darfur, but the idea of we didn't hear that until he became George Clooney, famous George Clooney. And the reason that happened, his father is a reporter, and he wanted to do this story somewhere in Africa. It was like a drought or something serious happening, and he went over there and did a story, and he got knocked off for a story about Elizabeth Taylor and her jewels and her diamonds, right? So when George got really famous, his dad was like, "Do you want to be Elizabeth Taylor for me? And let's do this story. Like, we got to bring the fame to the story in order to do something good for the people. But at some point, you do have to have something in it for you, like, being famous helps you teach people.
Oh, I couldn't
Like,
do this if
Daymond John wasn't a famous name and FUBU wasn't a famous brand.
I couldn't do this.
Right.
I could do this, but then
It'd
I'd
be
be
a much
another
smaller
struggling, I'd be a struggling artist. But I put
Right.
money behind this. I got with the best producers and stuff. But so if I had to really think about what's in this for me, I would have to say it reinforces all my books and all my lessons and my teachings. And so somebody says, all right, well, I don't know if he has another person writing this book. I don't know. It just reinforces the lifestyle of what we do. And I think that I've always thought like that. Even when FUBU was super poppin', we said, well, it's not enough. Let's go and create an album with real artists and to show people we're not just stamping a name on clothing because we understand the lifestyle. And I think that this is probably something like, I understand the mentality of an entrepreneur. You go through so much, and I want you to be. You just got to know that I have a hard day just like you, and these are the things that we gotta go after. But I get a lot of rewards from when I step off a stage and I see somebody say, I can finally feed my family because of just one little thing you or one of the Sharks said 3 years ago. It clicked, and now I am no longer making excuses, and I'm feeding my family. Or somebody says, I was failing, I thought I was the only person in the world failing. And I realized, you failed too, huh?
Right. Fail 100 times and then you.
And I can keep going on,
Right.